Okay, we are live. So we'll wait for some folks to jump on and continue on painting the Northern Lights, which is synthetic Blair synthetic paper, which is basically a flexible synthetic paper that can be painted on either side. Okay, so that's what I'm using. This was an attempt I did when I thought I was uploading it and it got cut short. My older phone, I have a new phone now, started to get hot and it just cut the video off and I couldn't even upload it. So I can take a cleaner solution and wipe this off and have it brand new again for just like the back and get that established. This is clay board. Haha. Northern Lights upside down, right? And that one, I will tweak it and finish it more. Maybe I'll even hit a little of the color I have mixed on this. Patty, how you doing? How's the volume? And I'm sure that, I know it's a narrow view here. Whoops. You know, it's portrait, so it's not horizontal with a live feed, but Facebook was nuts last week. It was just so terrible as far as trying to do a video. So I just came on here that same night, right? And decided to continue. I'm not putting up with that Facebook. It's horror. The quality was horrible. Anyway, so I have some areas that I'm going to be working on. I'll use the bigger image right here. Clayboard, little weight to it. Masonite backing. So, okay, so we've got perfect volume. I'm on my phone, great. And the image, I hope, is good here. I know we're going to move in a little bit. Yeah, me and the zoom. I got to learn about that. It's maybe there's something that I'm not doing right there. So I got to back that out a little and bring it in. Sorry. I can't seem to make it just, all right, I'm not going to mess with that. I'm going to just bring the arm in closer. It's pretty much the kind of a painting where you can get away with this distance anyway. So, okay, so we've got some colors that I mixed, and amazingly, the colors from, I'm going to say, I haven't worked on part 3. I haven't worked on Northern Lights for 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I don't even know. And I went to get my mixed colors that are in these solo cups. And I just had to put a little reducer, not reduce, yeah, 20, what is it, 2041? 4021 reducer in here. And I've stored it that way. And I lifted the lids on from 4 weeks ago, at least 3 weeks. And lo and behold, the paint was there. Colors were good. And I was able to use what I had, and then I made one new color. I made the color down there for these little baby clouds that are going to be coming in kind of broken formation. So I do have a small version of, let me get my photo of the smaller photograph, 4x4 I think, or 4x6 rather. Oh, it's right behind it. Sorry. So let me bring this one over. Put this one back here. All right, so just bringing this up right here. You can see the wonderful details in here. Again, if anybody watched the ornament painting of the Christmas lights, then the Christmas tree, mostly focusing on the ornament. A lot of tiny micro airbrushing to get that. Okay, so that's what I have to do in here. And I guess we'll try to leave a smaller one up there. Okay, so the actual ornament, I'll be tweaking that, not on a video, because it's at the point now where you just go fine tune it. But that was from the last live feed, and you could see into the ornament a whole world of furniture and a tripod and the wonderful branches bending around. There's a doggy over here, which I could show you on this image. This is a photograph. You can see the dog right there. I'm going to probably put him in, and in order to do that, I'll be using the correction color to lighten it and reestablish him, because I think it's really cool just to see that. But remember, this is only an inch and maybe 3/4, this circle, and this one is big, 4x4, almost 1 and almost 3 inches and change. I don't even know. But anyway, so that's what I did last week, and now we're going to continue on with this. But that 4021 reducer, I gotta have it. I gotta have that in stock all the time. It really, tip dry smoothness, mixture, and then the lasting, because how long it lasts, that causes my paints to be waiting there for me, that I might have to tweak and check to make sure they're the color I want. But anyway, let's bend the arm in here a little bit more. I have a flexible arm so you guys can see it as close as we need to, right? And there we go. That's pretty good. All right, so we got a little highlight there from the light. So I'm going to put a piece of tape on this one. Oh, it has tape, so I'll just push it down. Hopefully it won't be so reflective. There we go. All right, and this is just taped up there. So what I'll do is I'll start over here, but I want to point out that I got too heavy-handed. I started bringing the black in, so it's kind of pale now. It's got a little whitish correction color on it, and I knocked it into a kind of a dusty world, so I can bring in some of the blue here that I kind of went too far over. All right, so I'll be touching that up more with my correction color, and I'll be using that right now for, oh boy, I left the lid. Okay, I think I can get this going. Here's a good example. It's just because I left the lid off. So that's where it won't last. So I'm going to just put in a little bit of, just a little bit of stirring here and a little bit more of that. And that will help me, a little bit more of the 4021, and that will help me lighten some areas and avoid a graying, of blue shift, ugly graying that can happen from the white going over colors that are darker. So let's see. That's good to know. Awesome. Hey. Okay, JC, how you doing? Thank you, JC. That's great. Nice to hear kind words. So I'm gonna just, this part right here, I'm gonna just aim the airbrush up and get the volume down a little. Hold on a minute. Okay, I'm gonna just kind of focus in a little bit of softness, because I tried to erase there and that wasn't going to work. It was harsh. And just second coating, putting some soft white touch up in that area, waiting. Now it can have the white on top of that. Matter of fact, I'm going to put more white into my mixture here. Okay, create text illustration colors for anybody that wants to know. Basically, this is the opaque white. By putting this white into all the transparent colors that come in the kit, You'll see this is Drew Blair's name is on here, and it goes along with this color buffer method. Buffer method. It's optimized for it. He and the scientists at the chemist or whatever at the factory years ago, a number of years ago, got exactly what Drew wanted. There's a drying time on here. There's a window of where you can erase more and all that kind of stuff. And that's why Drew's name's on it. And it's his set that I bought and I keep in stock. Okay, so I want more white in there. Where's my white? Oh, right here. Okay, so I just will put that in there, get a nice clean paintbrush, and just stirring it around, lightening my color. That's my my white, off white, you might say. A little bit of the 4021 and a little circular stirring. You can go like that, or you can go with the paintbrush. So what I'm doing is I'm going to lighten, touch up a few areas still. And yeah, Michael, how you doing, buddy? And let's see who else is here. We've got the gang's all here. Great. I'm expecting a couple of California buddies to pop on, but you know, it's earlier out there. So this should be fun to push this painting into a beautiful, colorful aurora that's getting there. It's getting there, but I've got a lot of beautiful blues I got to put in there. I got to maybe even break away from my color matching and get involved with a little bit of just going against the grain of my norm and putting together some, just maybe tweaking it with some transparents, maybe. I haven't. You can mix transparents. That they're very hard to. You know, you gotta. They look dark in the color cup, and you got to figure out by spraying lighter or darker, because it'll keep getting darker. So around the edge of this, okay, I'm gonna go in a little stronger than before the video when I was testing the waters. Right here, right here, and wherever else, a little harsh racing here. So let me come in from this side and just soften that area right there. Sometimes it takes a couple of coats. Just getting rid of that. Oops, I shouldn't have erased that area. You know, there's a time when you can erase this also once it's dry, where it's really wonderful, because it doesn't just make big, like you're snow shoveling and you're clearing the walk, you know, it's like it sticks to it's made to stick to the clay board and this, or anything you paint on. But so I'm just going to put that in there. Color can go on top of that. Get rid of that harsh line there. And get rid of this real hard line right here and kind of just kill the edge a little. Right there. Just to blur it a little bit more. Okay. I'll go to pure white in a little bit once I put my touch-ups in. So let's just hit off of here. There's going to be a lot of nice green over here, so we could probably just lighten it a little more. Blue and the green will look nice, but I'm just putting a little more of a whiter area there, and we're going to go in here. Remember, these are touch-ups. These are so I can put down other colors. Sometimes you go a little too far. A way to get the tip dry off too, because a lot of times I forget and I'll go, oh, with my thumbnail, and I'll do a circular, but I'm not really getting the other side. You know, you got to get both sides, but you can also take the nozzle and you could go like that, and that helps pull. I'm not pressing air, I'm just bringing it in, but I got to go after the far side of the gun like that, and I don't always do that. And oh, I got a little star right there. Okay. So I'm just going to make this glow a little bit more right in this area to receive my new green. And up in here, just kind of melt that together right in this area. And then right up the mountain, it's going to be a lighter version right there of some color. I'll just mist it over those darker clouds that can be done again, you know, kind of. And then there's kind of a line here. So I'm just going to kind of bring it in like that and put in a really nice, pretty blue. Let's go around the edge of that violet, magenta, I should say, right here with the off-white. And over here, again, there's a glow, beautiful. It's like a violet almost coming off the edge of the magenta, which I got a little bit, you got to take your time, right? There's a nice magenta coming down in here. So I'll just clean up that area a little bit more, waiting to get some of that in there. I also got very heavy-handed on I like it. I like the cloud that's just streaming across the sky, but I'm going to lighten it with I'm going sideways now, and I tip dry again, a little bit of this and that, especially with the white. Now I'm going to just second coat this cloud and just knock it back into the picture with less the storm cloud look. We're gonna make that more of a blue cloud. So I could just almost put it in again. I liked it, but it really and truly got a little darker than I wanted it to be. One more time, get in real close. I'm holding, I'm trying to do this. I'm so used to my way of doing it for years, since 1983. I started messing with the airbrush. And then I went to school with Drew and some other wonderful artists, Stephen Driscoll and Terry Hill and all those guys. And then I didn't even know there was an illustration gun. I was using the Pache VL. And everybody just goes like this, painting. But Drew gets his joint of his finger in there. And then if you watch him paint, you'll watch him just kind of manipulate just the subtle moves. Um, he might have a little information on that on his website, but meaning a little video of him, or at least like a PDF thing of how because his airbrush is still, it's not a Takumi. His is all brass right here from his thumb being there all those years since the 80s. And unbelievable. Unbelievable. But this gives you less tension on your tendons, and then it gives you a lot of non-slipping off the trigger and kind of control that you do have to practice, because if you're used to doing it, I'm sure if you learned it from Drew right from the beginning, and you went to his school and he said, put your finger like that, you would have started off that way. But being the t-shirt and all the other things I taught, t-shirt art and all that, it was just this. It's nice not to have the gravity feed up here, but I do like the new Takumi, where it'll just flow, it will respond really quick. And I'm really looking forward to trying to get one. Maybe even over the classroom in a box that I want. My wife said get the airbrush if you can first. Very, very you wish you had $1 million, because the airbrush is not cheap. But this one, by the time I tune it up, by the time I get it, I probably need at least a new nozzle. Might need a new head assembly. I'm not sure. But by the time I get the little rings in there, and all the little touch-ups, and maybe even a new needle after a while, even though I use the sharpener, it will cost a couple of hundred or more, especially if I ship it out to Coast Airbrush to have them examine what I need and then they put all the parts in, and you pay for the parts, and they used to not charge for that, so hopefully that will be, but I'm going to try to hold off on that because I'm thinking of the other airbrush, you know. So this is just to let the color show up again. Okay, so we're going to have a little bit more green in here. So I'm going to just kind of, it would help if I put more paint in the gun. I'm thinning it out more with the 4021. I bought the giant 16-ounce bottle. I read reviews from friends around the world, and they were saying it was wonderful, and I just bought the bigger bottle, and I don't regret it, you know, because it really and truly is better than I thought, you know. Color gonna go in there, and then I'm skipping over there, and then there'll be more green in there. I just want a little more white behind the green. So I'm just establishing some areas. This is lighter. Let's see, this green's going to come all through here, and that's good. And then that will be lit up, and maybe a couple of streaks of the green in here, and a little closer over here. Okay, so we've got all of it going up on the same angles, right in here. It's going to get lighter, so I'll touch up those trees later. So I'm just going to put the white over those little bit of trees right in this area down here, just to let the really pretty blue come up. And then there's a green right in here, so let's put some white there again, just all the way up. Soften the edges of what's already established. And this ray is going to come through here, so this is a cloud that's crossing the horizon. So we're going to put a little bit of that right there, a little bit of that to receive the magenta, and the green over here, a little more white. Backing away with the airbrush to have a softer hit. And again, right here, I'm going to hit this one more time and get a little bit of an edge on this side. A little freehand softness. Okay. All right, so, and then there's a green coming in here, so we'll just make sure that's light enough again to receive the pretty color. Like I said, I'm touching up. You know, you can do this from the beginning, step by step, painting from light to dark. But I got a little bit, I went a little too far this way and a little too far that way. I see this blue over here too, so I'm going to kind of just dust in this white, this new patchy area there. Same thing here, I'm going to dust this in a little wider on the edge, just bring it over more, because I see a lot of that blue. It's almost like, it's like cerulean and blue violet and maybe a little bit of cobalt mixed together, I don't know. Okay, so that's good. The top of this can be a little bit of this too. So I'm going to go around the top just a little bit, just to, and in here I'm going to just one pass over that violet and kind of not let it be as strong as dark. There we go. Okay, now it's kind of established. It's really glowing. So now I'm going to go and get the, first I'm going to check the comments. All right, so what do we got here? Yeah, the 4021, I'm sorry. Stuart, how you doing? Good morning. He's from Australia. It's probably about 10:30 over there in the morning. Trying bleed-proof paper and a lot of masking and erasing the other day, and I'm getting a bit frustrated. Oh, the frustrations are your best lessons, though. I know it's frustrating, but I can tell you love the airbrush. So, I mean, I make mistakes on in front of my students when I had my school, and they loved it because they, first of all, they say, "Oh, this guy can swing the airbrush, but he made a mistake right in front of me. Now let's see what he can do." Hey, Steve, how you doing, buddy? Just putting a little masking tape on my son got me a new cell phone, the latest version of my Android, and oh man, it probably will do better on Facebook, but here it is, and it's got all fresh storage, and it's got a better camera and all kinds of little new features. My son works for Verizon, and he also blessed my wife with what do you call them? The pads, not an iPad, but tablet. He got her a tablet so she can sit there, and instead of using her cell phone, she can have something like that bigger in her front of her. Nothing like a phone with that new car smell. Yeah, let me smell my phone. I've got a new case. You know, I had just bought an I think they're called OtterBox or whatever. Very durable. You can really take a beating. And my phone, I had to buy it because my little push volume things wore down to the point where it wasn't there anymore. So I had to buy one for my old phone about 2 months ago. They're not cheap either. You know, they're like, I think I got it on sale, but it was in the 30s, if I remember. Anyway, that having said that, I had to get a new one, which he just got all of it together, and I'll throw him some money for the extras, you know, towards the phone bill or whatever. But the thing is, he got my wife a nice, what do you call it again? Oh, my brain. Anyway, got a nice case for it, and she can now put it on this little pillow that has an angle, and just relax with it on her in her lazy boy chair, and it's very big, you know, compared to the cell phone. So, but it doesn't have any kind of phone or anything in it. Okay, so we have everything based in. We have a little scratch mark right here. So we're talking about Stuart and the bleeding on the paper, and you just got to be willing to suffer through mistakes. Like I said, when the student, even live, I mean, the video is no longer available to see because my page was, what do you call it? Somebody sabotaged my Facebook page through Instagram, and that was the end of that. I lost my page. I lost all kinds of videos and photos. One of the videos was me painting Bruce Lee, black and white, and I was just talking, and I spilled the India ink onto his chin. It was like a three-quarter view of his face, and it dripped down onto his neck and into his jacket area, and it was on Bristol board. And I wasn't freaking out, but I had to touch that up in front of everybody. And I got out the 1,000 sandpaper, and lo and behold, it all got touched up. It all, you know, it all came together, you know, live on Facebook. And that was a really good lesson for all of us, including me, because I didn't learn that on my own. I learned that from Drew. I talk about Drew a lot. There's great artists out there that I love and admire. Steve Leahy, you're the other star in there. Um, you can learn so much from these experts. There's even some oil painting guys like Michael. I forget. It's MJ. He has oil painting, but it's photorealistic. And then there's Annie Arts, ANI, with Anthony Wakulis I'm not sure how to say his name. But anyway, whoa, that's oil paintings with blurry edges and microscopic black and white photos. It's Trompe l'oeil. And check him out. You'll be like blown away. So there's great artists out there. But I choose this style to paint. And so this is just what I love, and Drew teaches it, and so I'm hooked on this style. But that doesn't mean I wouldn't paint in other styles, like, my old styles are just transparents and what have you. Okay, so I've established a few touch-ups, and now I'm going to go into the green. Okay, so let's get that going. Maybe I'll sell my old compressor. Yeah, we got like, I think we have 9 people. Wow. Well, I did advertise with a video, a short 1-minute video. I said, hey, I'm not going to be on Facebook tonight. And I tagged some people, obviously. But I also went on YouTube because I don't know how to use YouTube the correct way yet. So forgive me, guys. I like putting up a notification, putting up wonderful animation and subscribe here and all those little floating things. I don't know how to do any of that. I haven't had time to even. So I just put a little video up for them to say, hey, at 7 o'clock, probably 2 hours before, I'm going live. So hopefully some of my YouTube people are on here. I see Brian Moore. Hello, Brian. Welcome. And yeah, okay, so now we see where this can go and the colors that can come in. So let's go to the green. Okay, so I need my lid. I always keep these in the Solo cups, which aren't even the Solo brand anymore. I think they're called Dart, but I get them at the restaurant supply house. Like I said, almost 4 weeks ago, I made this color, and I said, well, let me open it up, because I was doing other things like the ornament, and I took off Christmas and New Year's because Tuesdays was the day. Anyway, and I opened it up, and there was the paint. And all I had to do is put a couple of drops of the 4021 in there and just stir it. And I don't have to be as fanatical as tweaking it and making sure it's exactly this color, because I've already got my base in here. And this one, or one of them, was this much, a quarter inch or so of paint. So I started dividing it up and tweaking it and getting my green for here. You can see the match. It's pretty on the money. Let me take the lid off. I spent a lot of time to get this color because that's the style I'm trying to do. So right there, you can, if you can lay it flat on there, you can kind of see the match. Okay, so it's opaque, and it's got, it's got many different things in it. It was a guessing game. Basically, I got white, yellow, because you got to start somewhere, right? You got cobalt blue, you got a little bit of cerulean, because I kept seeing it go a little bit, well, towards the green, right? And then blue violet, and that took care of a little bit too much yellow, right, because of the violet. And then a little bit of red to gray the whole green, right? So it's just I love color theory, and it's just wonderful. But the style I'm doing it in takes a lot of patience. So even if my live feed didn't go good tonight, or didn't go because of Facebook's lousy scene, I didn't waste any time because I practiced mixing my colors. And that, to me, is worth its weight in gold. So is this the right one? Yes, number 9. I didn't make that much. Wow. I don't think I need that much, though. Okay, so I'm going to come in on the side this way. I'm going to test it on the paper below. And I'm going to, if I need to, I can get darker, too. I mean, there's the blue gray clouds that are in there. But the first thing I need is to come in here and start to put, the green's going to go under that white area. So let me just get something started. And then it's going to go up over into this area. I'm going to kind of work around that. There's a little guy in here. It's green. So I'm going to just kind of put it in. Okay? And then there's a couple of step clouds in there, as Terry Hill would call them. Little clouds that look like they're stepping along over each other. Yeah, I did a Terry Hill step-by-step back in the day for a demo. was in the book, Airbrush. It was in the magazine Airbrush Action. I'll see if I could bring it over and show you guys. It's big, you know. It's a piece of Pellon, and so I was teaching all that kind of stuff. I wasn't focused on my fine art because I just didn't have the time. I was running two businesses. So to really learn from one artist a style, you got to have the right lighting. You got to have everything. Drew has to, everybody should have color correct lighting, which is, daylight and at least the daylight light bulbs so you can see what's really going on. Okay, so this is going to be more of a blue, but I'll put a little green in there. Yeah, it's more, it's got a blue under it, so I can second coat it with other things. And then there's a little bit more right in here, I think, coming off this cloud. So we'll put it right here. I'm going on the same angle, just that kind of thing. I don't want to get too carried away. I just want to be subtle. And then, but like I said, I am so hooked now on this. And Steve Leahy, if you're still with me here, yes, you are. Get some Blair synthetic paper. I know the UPO has bad reputation, but Steve, this paper, once you have the drying times and the different things, man, I just love it. And I'll probably be painting on it more than the clay. I have clay board still, but I think I will definitely stay with the paper and ask Drew, well, what do we do? Do I shellac it, varnish it, that stuff? It even says you can clean the synthetic paper with like soap and water from oil prints and stuff when you first get it. Okay, so we're going to come back over by this right here. We're going to fire a darker green, same green, but just a darker streak, because that's what this is all about, streaks. Yeah, that tape, whatever that tape is called, and yeah, that tape is supposed to be very easy. No, the stick on it is like nothing. So, all right, so the mountain's going to be black up in here. So, being that it's going to be black, just to give me a little guide, I know where it kind of is. It's really light in here, but it does kind of do a little weirdness. So I'm just going to bring it down again and just give myself a little line, because this actually, the bigger one goes further with the mountain. I do believe it goes past actually, yeah, that's cool. It could probably be a little rounder right up in here. So, okay. I'm just looking, I'm just looking, stepping back, and now I'm saying, all right, I'm going to fire in, because the trees aren't even over here yet. I'm going to fire in the green. They come off these trees. The little hill goes up, so it's right off the top of these trees. There's a nice bit of green there, too. And then it repeats itself over here. So just put it in a little darker. Okay, and pull this up a little higher. Okay, now I'm going to hit this a little bit darker right there. Just the same color, and a little bit of an edgy thing here, right there. Okay, that's the area that's all lit up, and now it's got those little clouds that seem to be more in the blue family, but I can establish some of them. I see some in the green right here. So I got to just freehand it. Okay. How do you get rid of your lines? That's a really good question. I'm going to be painting opaque paint. This black down here, and then the snow, there's a little snow on the mountain. This black, so if I take my shield and I could take a piece of tracing paper and put it over it and find the same line, cut it out, put that as a shield, and then spray my black over that pencil line. It'll bury it. But when you're using transparents, which I basically have all opaques here, just remember, opaque paint covers pencil lines. So if I take this color and I spray it, I'll give an example. That's a really good question because, you got to know these things, especially just when you're starting out. So you have a little pencil line right here, and it's like, wow, I don't want to waste that paint, but um, let me get a color that I'm just going to switch over to the blue for a minute because I have a lot of that. A lot more, I should say. Good question, though, because like I said, transparents are going to show that through big time. And the more you spray a transparent, the darker it's going to get. So it will go past what they call the target color. If you want to know anything about that, that's still the green, just get Drew Blair's Color Theory in a box, and all your answers will be there. It's a well worth investment. Spokesperson for him, I don't get paid because I can't, I love it, and I just have to tell everybody. Okay, so there, it's still showing through, but this color is mixed. So that's how a transparent would behave, right? Be like, I still see the line. I still see the line. It's like, but if you take the opaque color that will go and cover this 100% by just going back in and hitting it. Remember, the 100% is more, this color really looks like something like that, but it won't get any darker than that. Transparents will go to black almost. So the pencil line's almost gone and the color on the white is not there yet. So we just hit it again. Pencil line's disappearing. I'm going to kind of bring it in a little bit. I can't use the zoom because it messes me up. Again, I'll bring the paper over. You know the pencil line was there. And again, air dry it. And again, it's not getting any darker. It's just, well, yeah, the 100% would be more like that. So that's 100%, and the pencil line is gone. So let me bring that over. It's gone. But that won't get like black because it's got white in it, which that's what Drew's bottle says right on it. It's for the, where is the name there? It's for the color buffer. Well, this new bottle doesn't say that. His old bottles. I have an older. Yeah, the color buffer method. Go on his page, look at his classrooms in a box, and you will understand the color's been buffered. Get his kits. They have kits of how to paint everything from cherries to how to paint a full portrait, tiger, everything on there I want. Because I can learn so much from that. I've been to his classes so many times, but the thing is, it's not, some things don't stick. You need to go get more information. All right, so I'm going to go over here with this color. Remember this color here. And I can spray that color light too. So I don't have to, I can treat it like a transparent. So let's do that right in here. There we go. That's what I want. I killed that with the black before. I fixed it with the white with the correction color. Okay, he'll teach you all about that stuff. I'm not teaching color theory. It's not his. Only private lessons with his permission, But right now, I'm not even doing that. I'm just doing this. Okay, so these beautiful colors are just all around that I kind of swamped. I kind of killed them. So I can push this all the way out to the black. And this blue, without that white under there, it wouldn't show back up too good. You have to, So that's what I'm doing. Far away, little rolls in here of color, not black. Black can ruin everything. And even this cloud, I'll use this color, try it, get in real close, softly spraying it. It's like what do you call it, a feather stroke, where it's soft right there. but it's in close. So you have to learn to control your airbrush in close. And that just takes practice. That's better than the dark one. Before I had a dark, too blackish looking. It looked cool. It was like a storm cloud. And then the cloud kind of does this right here. Still using I'm back and forth on trying to do his fingering the way he does it. But kind of in the middle here now. So just going to paint that a little wider right there. Oh yeah, when you get tip dry with both, but especially with opaques. And then keep it thin here, go in tight, and then back the airbrush out like that. Getting a little heavy-handed, but that's all right because I can buffer that down or lighten it with the white. So there's my cloud reestablished. And now I'm going to go in here while I got this color, and I'm going to get my dark cloud down here. And I am going to spray this 100% here once I get it in. And if I don't like it, I can always mess around with a little bit of white and knock it around a little bit. I'm trying to, keep it as photorealistic. I use that word loosely because that takes a skill beyond. Photorealism means you can't distinguish between the photograph and up close with an eyepiece even. And I'm not there, but I am getting closer because I work hard at it and I love it. So this is a cloud, we'll call it the step cloud kind of thing. And I'm noticing it's much more, it's got some white. I'm going to spray some white over it and gray it down more. But this will work just to establish it far away. I don't have to worry about the black trees or whatever. I just got to continue to meet the tree line. Remember, it's nighttime, so this can be very dark. And then I can play around with other colors and darken it even more. I'm aiming down a little to keep the overspray on this freehand edge under control, as opposed to taking a color and just going crazy, spraying it, aiming up, aiming out. You're not gonna achieve what you want. So let me get that beach scene. And again, it was it was me practicing a step-by-step of Terry Hill's in Airbrush Action Magazine. It's a pin to the wall. You guys have seen it on the little tours of I show a tour of the studio. It was on the wall. This is going to be very big, so I'm just going to slide it in there and see what you can see. Okay, it's Pell on, and I will pull back the camera, and I followed all of his steps to get this to be looking like that, because I wasn't really a t-shirt artist, but my students wanted me to show them, how to paint on t-shirts. And so I had to study it, and I had Terry Hill videos, VHS, and some others, But anyway, there's, the wave and the palm tree and all freehand strokes. It's all freehand. But I'll tell you what, that paint got me coughing, man. That was probably not even the Wicked at that point. That was probably just the Createx regular, bring this in more. Just their Createx t-shirt paint, and then eventually I started using the Createx Wicked, and then I developed a Wicked cough, because when you're a teacher and you've got an airbrush desk with 6 stations on it, and maybe 2 people are doing t-shirts and the others are doing them. Usually it wasn't completely full. It might have had 5 or 4 students at one time. Ventilation desk and all that kind of stuff. the the styrofoam that I was spraying against, I mean, it's going to blow back at you off the paper towels and the shirts. And I'm talking, I don't have a mask on, and I'm swallowing paint, dust. Went to a specialist, and he told me, yes, Terry Hill was one of the best, top notch, him and Steve Driscoll. And there's others. I think of Yorick. Gosh, I don't want to leave anybody out, but Kent Lind. These guys they're the kings of that. I know that we don't have Steve or Terry anymore. Unfortunately, they're gone, but I can't believe I'm even saying that. It's just, ugh. But anyway, the two that are gone were out of this world. Phenomenal. Phenomenal. And what teachers. Terry Hill was a great teacher. Great. I mean, he really had patience with people, and he really knew how to teach. But yeah, I swallowed enough of that painting. I was like, you know what? This is ridiculous. I haven't done a t-shirt in a long time. And then when I bought the Color Theory in the box, it forced me to really stay with the fine art and not go out in the garage, because I can't paint the t-shirt paint in this art room. My wife she has asthma and stuff. Can't do that. Okay, a little more of this color over here. Now it's going to where I want it as far as hue. And I'm seeing this. I put this white in here on purpose. I see a little, don't ask me why, but it looks like a little bit of the Aurora colors are shooting up here too. So I just left a little path for that. It's so cool looking. They're just paint what you see, right? And then over here, again, if it hits the violet and it goes more violet-y in this area, that's fine, because that's what it is actually. I see breakaway cloud right here. Just a little guy just coming off, showing some more realism. I'm not showing it enough. Gotta get that tip dry off there. Oh, see, I got some O-rings and different things in there that are sticking and dry. There we go. And that kind of stuff is why if I invest in tuning this up right now, and I know the Takumi's out there, there's weigh two or 300 against the 490 something. A little bit more of that coming back further. And that's pretty dark. I can probably darken it out here a little bit there. There's my colorful cloud that I can knock back with some white and stuff. Okay, so let's finish this. This has a nice little... It's dark, so putting it in. Now I can fire it in, aim down, look at the photograph. I see lights and darks in there, so I'll just stay with that. The lighter area I sprayed and the darker area. And you get that. I'm going to mist over it and close the door a little bit on it. Okay, a little bit more. I love the airbrush. It's just a great tool. Okay, so now I'm going to have some clouds coming in here. Little baby things, and over here I'm just gathering around where I see it cutting down on the... Okay, there's the white, so I can't come in over. I can't come over anymore. I just have to stay in this area right here. Tip dry. Getting both sides of the fence, right? Oh, your dog had an operation today. Wow. Welcome, Dread FX Custom Paint. I was about to ask if you have the fix, but this answered my question, Bill. Oh, that's great. Great. That's what you want. You want to be able to come away with all the little intricacies of mistakes and things that we've learned over the years that we can share. Yeah, I hope your pooch I hope she's doing better from the operation. That's rough on them. Man, let me just turn this out a little bit. There we go. Okay, so you can see things are starting to happen here, but we also have some of this cloud. So I can go right in. You talked about the line before. How do you get rid of the line? I can paint, like, get a little brave, and I can paint right through that line because it's going to be black. So these little shapes that are like clouds, they are clouds, they are little feather strokes. And for me, higher air, or volume here with the Mac valve can give me a better result because I can get that feather stroke going. Of course, I didn't have no paint in there. I'm going to put a little bit more of the 40-21 into this mixture. I just bounce a couple drops in there, sometimes four drops. I don't care what falls in there. I got a pretty good amount of paint. Sometimes you can go a little too far and get it too watery, and temporarily, I hear this, I've already taken this apart. Hear that running? Okay? So what I've been doing just to get through this, because I probably need a new seal and stuff, I pull that back like this. Let me just get a pencil or something in there. Okay, I got that open. I'm sorry for the blur. Well, anyway, what I'm going to do, I'll do it off camera, so don't ruin the painting. I'm going to pull that out of the way, and I'm going to put a couple drops of the 4012, which has the nice point on it. And I'm just going to drop it in there, because I did it before, and it makes it go away. It makes that temporarily go away. Except it's not right now because I said so. I need a napkin or a paper towel. Yeah, the trigger is called a low rider. I got it from the Blair School of Realism. And in here is the soft spring. I have the HP Plus and any other airbrush that this has the old trigger, the big normal size. But any gun I have now that will receive the new spring, get it. The soft spring is, something's leaking here that is not. I guess that didn't work this time. Whoops. Oh boy, I almost lost my blue. It was, you know how I say, keep the lids on it. All right, this trigger's staying on. Give me a second, guys. Let me put a little more of that in there. Okay, it worked. It's a temporary fix. My airbrush needs all new seals, and it goes back to 1996 when I bought it. Yeah, so that did it. It's not staying on. That's a low rider trigger, and it has the soft spring. Once you feel, I don't know about you liking the trigger, but once you feel the spring, the difference in the tension, you're going to want soft springs. You're going to really want them. Okay, so what were we doing? Putting up a little more of the air volume with the Mac valve so that I can kind of get a little bit like when I'm painting a t-shirt A little more control, like this. See, that's cool. If you could do this big, like that size, that's good. But can you do that small? Can you do a dagger stroke or a feather stroke small? The small stuff is where you're going to get, control. There's ways to use shields and stuff too, but let's see if I can try. I don't want to get too high of pressure or volume. So I'm going to turn it down. And I'm just going to put a little blue in here. I'm just going to kind of work fast, breaking this area up a little. That's good. It's dark down there. And then it kind of clusters you. Like I said, I don't have to worry about that pencil line. That's going to be black. I'll paint it blue right now. See, the line's going to go away. That's probably rock on the mountain. So now I want to come in here, aim this way, and get some of these little shapes. A little dark, but I can just mist over them. Up here, this is a double-sided dagger. This guy goes this way and this way. But he's getting a little bigger than I want. Okay. Got a little bit out of control, but that's all right because it starts to work its way up into these clouds. Which are almost black, actually. So let's get this established right here. And then right here is that real white one. It gets cut off right here by a little blue. And probably a lighter blue I should have used, like almost like a light cerulean with a lot of white in it. But I aimed it and did it, so I did what I did. Sometimes you just got to change colors quicker. Okay, so a little more dusting up here, softening edges. Let's see, I see a little bit of a shield kind of thing going on here. Spraying off the edge of something. So I'm going to hold this up right here, off the surface a little bit. Oh, that's too much. I got to get, yeah, it worked, but turn that down. Okay. So that divides that where, oops, sorry, I'm hitting the phone. Whoops, look at that scratch. That's how easy this paint comes off. And if I aim down, and then you can go up, but you're aiming down to keep that not going where you don't want it. So that goes up. There's a little bit of visual noise right here. Soft, same color. I'm just kind of copying what I see. Over here, I'm going to keep this way off the surface. Nope, that's bending. So let me get a shield that's made for that. Okay, this one got broken off here. I got two of them, but straight edge. So let's go right about here. Where is it real straight? Right? And off the surface, I'm just going to spray a little bit like that. And then I can come over here and go by the green. Let's see. I'm talking to myself. Don't mind me. Oh, okay. So I hit the air and I got me some trouble. Oh, hey, they're going away pretty easily. That's good. That's because I hit the air and made stars, right? Okay. And it was low air and it made like stars like this, I guess, where you build up a little paint and then you kind of do a little less air. Paint over there and then so that's what I kind of did, but there's some stars that you can kind of get with flickering motion. All kinds of brushes here you guys are talking about. Okay, so we got Mike, we got Bobby. Hello, Bobby. I'm thinking of Ray Gunner. Heard so many good things, plus all Rob's videos of it just look amazing. That's cool. That's what's great about the internet, Rob. I have been seeing the lube grooves in some of the parts of the new Infinity. Have you tried the lube in them yet? I can read a lot of those later. You guys are talking amongst yourself. That's cool. Yeah, I guess that wow, almost 30 years would be me painting back in 83. 83. I'm 100 years old. I'm 70. I can't do math, so I don't know how long that was. Yeah, the 4012 is the better, is a really good cleaner. And it cuts through things, it takes the paint off and all that. So yeah, it's a good thing. Okay, so there's that scratch still. I'm just gonna, again, it's the same color. It looks like I'm getting darker. And in a sense I might be, because might not have been 100%, but I'm keeping up. You gotta pay attention to your edges. I'm looking at this. I'm gonna look at the bigger photograph now, because it's getting, everything gets lost over here. And that kind of goes up, kind of like more like that. Those are the things you look at later and go, why didn't I do that? And it's got more of a gray on. I'm gonna take it down with some white. Okay, so let's get back into here. And we've got this cloud right, trying to find where I am. Okay, off this cloud comes a orangey kind of cloud, and then these guys kind of work their way off of it. So here we go. Get it started. There we go, there's one. The cloud's not there yet, but see, it's not responding like I hear the, even when this was newer, it responded better. It just doesn't have that response because it's got problems within itself. So I have to fight harder to make things happen. There'll be some green in there, and I'll just put it right over the top. And then these guys kind of just do a little soft push out right here. Again, my reference picture has my answers, right? A lot of people go, how do you paint glass? How do you paint gold? Your reference picture has your answers. Just look at study the reference picture and find the color, and don't be afraid to put it in there. Look at that down there. Oh, that's a touch-up area. Okay, so I'm going to get a little bit over here with a little stronger of that blue. There it is. It's just prettier than the black. And I'm going to get a little bit closer to that violet and do it again right here. Okay, so we've got a lot more prettier blues going on. Okay, so now this guy even has a little baby guy coming off here. Oh, it did it. There we go. It's similar. And then down here, you can say tip dry or no paint. In this case, no paint. So the snowy hill is here up to the tree, and then it goes down, but it gets this cloud right here. It kind of just does that. And there's a few baby guys right here. Subtle, just little visual noise, right? Okay, so that's that. Now we want to start thinking about in here, taking that color and bringing some of that in, going in between these shapes. I gotta find one where I am, right there, that's good. Right here, I'll just hop up a little higher, the starting point. There. And then this kind of squares off here, so we'll just go this way on an angle. Just trying to follow what I see. But the edges, edges are everything, you know. If you can't control the edges, you have to look and say, well, is the edge, is it really 100%, what do you call it? Like a frisket, you know, where you spray, you take your stencil. Let me get one. Okay, so you could take your stencil, like this one's for circles, and you can put that and pin it. There's Mickey Mouse, guys. Every time I see him, right? And you could just, you know, you could just pin it in there and really nail the edge, right? And you got a real hard edge. But you could do the same thing by floating and lifting the stencil to a certain height, and you're going to get a softer edge. And even, you know, more so as you play around with it, when you think of those little camera circles that are all out of focus, bokeh, that kind of stuff, out of focus, beautiful marks that are there. Okay, so I'm starting to like my own painting, and that's a good thing because I'm getting another painting, guys. I'll be right there. Talk about the bokeh, or the depth of field, would be these. That's what happens. Like, that's a tree back there, but because of the camera focusing sharply on the car, okay, the trees go out of focus, and then your photograph has that in it. You say, well, how do you paint that? Well, you just paint what you see. You know, you put the circles in, you put the out of focus circles in, you dust over some of them, you know, like that, and it comes up against the edge of the car's, you know, roof line and there. And then I could go in with the eraser, and then I could lightly spray, and it just disappears. And that's, you know, out of focus, depth of field, all that kind of stuff. This has the shine and the water kind of coming down. This is a ways to go, though. It's not finished. But what was in the windshield, it was kind of a gray blue. I just painted what I saw. I saw a little bit of a brownish, that color over here, and I sprayed it in. This is all white, and the painting ends right here. Got to cut it off. Anyway, that's the out of focus. Thinking of edges, blurry against a hard edge, or intermediate edges, which are wonderful, you know. Okay, so intermediate edges would be like a kind of like in between. Your answer again will be in your reference picture. Okay, so we've got 2 and 1. Michael can be the detail like a micron. Okay. One day when I get good like Steve, Tim, and Rob, I may invest in a micron. That sounds like a plan. Maybe I'll sell this one, refurbish it and sell it. But I really want to get the wonderful Tukumi. Yeah, that's it. A little bit here, color coming down. It goes to a violety. area. And what else? So I'm going to just go one more time here so you can kind of see that going off into the sky. And then the black's going to come back in, and we've got a star that's going to have to be over a little more. So I'm just going to put some blue on that just to knock it back. Okay, so I'm still looking for little colors. Off from this pink is going to be this a little bit darker. Right there. And then another one right here. That's too heavy. Oh, no, it isn't, because it goes out that way. Just melt it in. Got a little bit darker than I wanted, but it's going to work. Even breaks up there and it starts meeting again. And that's where the white over it will help that. So, yeah. Okay, so let's go to the green now. Back to the green. And actually I need a touch up because of the speckles that look like little stars. They're in there, and they're on here too on my photo, but they weren't in the real picture, not down that low. Yeah, I wish you could have them all. I really love the Micron B because it is gravity fed. It actually behaved better than my side bottle here when I compared it to my friend who brought his over to my house back in '95. I didn't buy this yet. You know, it was like '96. So he lent me, we were in a very bad car accident, and he lent me his airbrush. My old friend Fred there, he had taken me down to Drew Blair's Tennessee rendezvous, Mickey Harris, and we went down there in his little truck. And that's when I was trying his Micron. It behaved right on spot because it was gravity feed. Okay, so I'm going to take a little bit of yellow out of the bottle, okay, transparent, and I'm going to very carefully just put a whisper where the green's already there. And I mean a little bit right there. That's it. Maybe over here a little bit on the edge. Just to kick it up a notch and through the blue. Just a little, like something's coming up over the horizon. A little bit here, right on top of the opaque paint. Very subtly. And I don't really need the yellow there. That's more of a blue. Okay. It's going to be here, actually, but it's a color I have to make. It's going to be on the mountain. But not this yellow, but I'll just put a little bit on the mountain. It's going to be like probably an ochre because the sun's hitting that spot. Okay, so using a little transparency with, and that's how far a drop goes. Let me show you. We all know that. You think you got no more paint, and then you try to spray it out, and you keep going and going. Okay. Time for a little water here. Yeah, I would like to have a number of different airbrushes too, like Tim's, like you're saying, and just if you can go to some place where you can try some of them, that would be cool. I'm going to take a little bit of this color now, if I have any in here. And it's got a little, I can wake it up with some 20, 40, 21, just a couple drops. Stir it around a little bit, wake it up. That's all I need, right? It's opaque, so, but I see the color. And if I spray it light enough, after I get rid of the greens, I mean the yellow still. Wow, it's even coming out more. I put some water in the gun. Okay, so now, here we go with this other blue, after I get it where I want it. Right over here, I don't know if it's going to just look the same. I'm going to have to just try a little. It's a little lighter, so it can put a glow around this. So this is even a lighter blue, just playing around with it. Let's see if I can lighten this a little bit. Nah, it's got yellow still in it. I gotta be careful. Okay, I'm gonna go to the white, off-white correction color. And all I'm gonna use it for is to knock the cloud back a little bit. So you gotta have a good aim, right? T-shirt stuff can really get you swinging that gun, doing your daggers, doing your feather strokes, and then taking it to the fine art and playing around with reducing all the sizes down to a smaller shape. Doing the same thing you would do in a big area, but tinier. Okay, so let's see how my white is. Here we go. Okay, there's a little bit of that speckly stuff. I'm going to come back in here, and I'm going to draw this in more on purpose now. It's kind of a weird thing going on right here. It aims up and it blows up soft. Whoops, I missed. I hate that. All right, I'll just put color on that. But that shape does that right there, but I brought it over too far. And then, let's see, kill some of those speckles with a soft, there's one, okay. And then this can kind of have a hot spot right here. And this isn't even pure white yet, this one. There's a little star. I don't want to put too many stars in, but okay. So that's kind of neat. That fell almost where it is. Okay, let's get, the stars will come in a little bit. Let's get back to this area right here. Remember I said I put the darker blue in here. I can just come back here like that. Whoops, air pressure, I'm getting stars. And I can put it in right on top of this color right there. It kind of just goes right over on a little bigger angle like that, there. And now I'm going to soften that right here. Second coat it. Let's knock it back a little bit. Really light this up down here. Okay. What else? What else? Magenta. Do I have any magenta? It was transparent, but it might be dried up. So, yeah, transparent. Yeah, it's still there. A good old 40-21. drops, 1, 2. And I have the same color from 4 weeks ago. How about that, guys? It might have shifted over a little. I mean, there's not too much in the mixture. I think I have red, violet, magenta, and I have magenta, red, violet, violet, and cobalt blue to make this transparent. No white is in it. Okay, so I'm going to kind of hit this back in here, and it will go violet-y on the edge because it is in the picture. And over here, this one is more violet-y, but it's just a bigger area than I have it right now. Okay, and then the violet around it. There we go. And maybe one more pass on top of it right there. There we go. Trying to get that hot spot there going. And then down here, trying to let you see what I'm doing. But I got to look back at the picture. And I got to aim that to there. And then do a little bit of control right here. Let that float off the surface a little bit. Now I don't want a line. I want a little soft like that. Okay, that should work. Down here, nope, none of that there. In here, it seems like it comes down to about here. There, that's good. I got to be careful because you get carried away real quick. Okay, so let's see. I'm seeing this hitting right, let's see, there's that, right on the blue. Goes more violet. And then over here a little bit, and that's it. Maybe a little more. It's more of a violet, like it's just all doing that stuff there. Now, get rid of that. Wow, that's cool to have that color from so long ago. I do need to come down a little bit more with this right here. That's it. You know, the old less is more kind of thing. It's on this side of that green too, right there. That's it. Stop and look at it because it can get you really quick. So, airbrush talk today, baby, right? I want this, I want that. I'm thankful I have my Terry Hill model Silent Air from Wheels. I have the one with the double motor, and I'm not using it anymore. My wife said, keep it, you never know, because you can't get it, you know. I mean, money-wise, it would be 3,000 something, but I got it for like, I forget, man. It was like with shipping, it was pretty manageable because I bought it for my studio. But anyway, I might think of selling that one to help me with the Takumi, but who knows? This one I could refurbish later and keep, but it will probably never feel the same because of the Takumi being so wonderful. Maybe, I don't know. I'm going to put a little cerulean in the airbrush, and I'm going to try something very subtly. I don't know if I'm going to be successful because that transparent right out of the bottle can be nasty. But if I just whisper a little bit right in here, I might get what I want. Nah, it got darker. But it is the other color, but it did get darker. I could put it here because I want that to be darker and let that show up more like that, with that kind of color. And then a little bit over here, cover that black white area that just has to have more color, not just black there. Okay. Yeah, it's sticking again. It's this, you know, the little seal. Goes back to 1996. I didn't know how to take care of the Micron. I didn't know what to do. I didn't even use it for a while because I was like, I don't know how to use this gun. I don't know how to clean it. And that was the truth. So I got some of the Eclipse, the ones with the gravity feed, and just stayed with that for a while. Then I went back to school again with Drew in person, and I started to go through more understanding of cleaning, taking care of this precise instrument, any airbrush, but especially the microns. You need to know how to use them and take care of them. Okay, so now I want it's a little blue violet there, but it's a pretty color, but I'm gonna put this in the gun. I don't know. Might have to whisper a little violet over it. Right, I started to paint there. Right there. It's just very light. The sky changed color. There. That's it. Maybe a little darker right there. Okay. Okay, and I need the green. So that would be, man, I left this color. Oh, it's gone now. Dried up the little bit that was left. I need my original green. Time to put some lids on. One sweep of the airbrush, even the air can knock all these little solo cups over. And that's it. That's all she wrote then. All right, there it is. Number 9. Number 9. Could it be that? Gone? Oh boy. Boy, I didn't make a lot of that, but I don't need a lot of it. I need it for right over there still. So a lot of blue in the gun. Yeah, I think I'll start a GoFundMe page for everybody to help me get a new airbrush. I'm only kidding. I'm only kidding. But I might have to let go of the double motor. I can't get tons of money for it, but it is a double motor 6-gallon tank. That's, you know, silent air. And I don't think I'm going to use it again. But anyway, that would be a local thing anyway because of shipping. It's big. Okay, here we go. Over here. Wow, I'm just getting the last drop out of that one. So I got to aim. Get some green in there. There we go. There we go. That will be just enough for that. This goes more blue. Be a lot of tweaking. Okay. Right here again. It's more of an aqua, but I'm just putting a little green there for the blue to hit. Okay. So one more time here. So bright. The way to knock that back is with the blue. So kind of mixing on the canvas, you might say, right in here. So I'll take the darker blue and that's what I love about the airbrush. You can spray it super light and you can mix right on the surface even with opaques. Okay, where is that? I need that color. There it is. Okay, so this is kind of, this green gets lost in the blue a little bit. Can't believe I'm using these colors from 4 weeks ago, most of them. Okay, so by spraying it lightly, and I did lose this a little bit, so I'll just kind of reestablish that. There it is. And very, very skinny areas right in here where you just go in, come back out, go back in. So it's kind of like this, because it's not just, you know, paint on, paint off. It's here, like here's a dot, and that dot is that big. But what does that amount that you pull back, there's that dot, and pull it back, that dot, that's what it looks like as far as the amount you're really spraying, as opposed to a dot that's big. You just lock it in and pull back. And so it's kind of like a lot of it's done in the halfway point, you know. So, but as I was saying, yeah, if you're going in close like that, you could pull the airbrush away and go back in. That's what this cloud is doing, kind of. It gives it a nice broken up look. Okay. I'll lighten that because that's nowhere near that dark. And then I'll just start hitting areas where I see this coming in, like making shapes. Over here, the green, that's violet there, so we'll leave that alone. So we'll bring this bluish color on top of the green a little, but far away, knocking the green into the picture, making a darker green, right? Get rid of some of that ugly black. Okay. Okay, so just trying to, and like I said, I can go right into the mountain here and connect some of these clouds because that's what they're doing there. The black's going to go there. The pencil line is going away. So this edge could be freehand. It depends on the photograph. So that could be black. It's like a rock area. It goes kind of like that. I'll paint that black. But that's not a cloud there. That's actually going to be black. Snow and different things. The snow is dark, so it's not going to stand out like that. Okay, so we've got what we want there. We've got to get this a little bit darker right in that area. And then go back in on top of this. Good, okay. So now some stars, but you know what? I'll put some black on that mountain. Okay, where's my black? There it is. We got 10 people on here. Hello to anyone I didn't say hi to. And welcome on board. You can watch part 1 and 2 in the regular uploads, I think. And then, or maybe not, I'm not sure. You got to look for them. Go to the live section or go to the upload videos, it says. Okay. So thank you, Brian. I appreciate it. Thanks, Steve. Oh, gosh. Okay, so I'm just stepping back and looking at it a little. There's a little more things going on with little violet gyrations, little lines and striding. You know, that's a little bright, but it's all making sense now. Even the little violet down there, which I didn't put in. Oh, yeah, it peeks through the clouds a little. And that's important, right? All important because we have to put what we see in. See, I made an opaque violet. It didn't work. I made it transparent, and it worked. It matched, but it didn't work because it was going to cover so much. So you got to know when to use a transparent and when not. You know, I know I'm going to do the black in a minute, but I just thought about that little violet area. And so while I see it, and I mean, maybe I can get away with that, having that little violet glow right there. Having this magenta violet color that's got no white in it. Because everything can be sprayed very, very lightly. So I just go right over that and get that color I'm looking for. 2 passes, and there it is. And it goes down to the white a little. There it is. It's pretty much it, maybe a little lighter, but the white can come back in there because it's bursting out there, and the black trees will cut back in and make it all lock together. So right here, that little violet magenta is showing through these clouds. And it's important because it's part of the photo. It's just a little, you know, a little bit. And then there's going to be this weird cloud right here. I'll just use this color for now. Just to establish it a little. It kind of cuts through right there. It seems more orangey. I don't even know if I want to put that in there. But right now, I'm just going to do that for now. And I can shift it over with white and make it do some weird things. Yeah, I do see a little bit of a line here. A little too dark, so just kind of bring it around a little bit. Hide that line at the top. There we go. That will work. It's my own sky a little bit too. I mean, you start getting away from the original, and then all of a sudden, it's your sky. It's just a sky, right? Okay. Now, I am going to get the black. So once this real dark is up against everything, that's when things start to get daylight, lighting, the snow, everything starts to make more sense. Because if you put the color right where it lives, and all of the, like a glowing campfire, it's like some people would say, how do you get that? Say there's a tent and it's got a little bit of a lantern inside of it. It's nighttime, so it's only a glow in the center of the picture of where this camping is, and the ground is glowing from the campfire a little bit. You might see, you know, that's what's going to be just the colors, the fire colors, and then the darker colors around it. It all starts to look like crazy, making sense. Like you're manipulating the color to be, you know, looking like nighttime or daytime. I love it. Okay, so now a little water. What color am I going to? The black, right? Yeah. So I am going to put a little bit of 40, 21 in my black because it's a little bit thick, just maybe a drop or two, just to make it flow better. And I know you can spray it right out of the bottle, but that's what I'm doing. Okay, so I've got that. Now the mountain is a really sharp edge. So I either could put something on there, I don't want to tear up the paint, or I could, again, here's the line, because we were concerned about earlier in the thing about seeing a line on, a surface. How do you get rid of it? You got to spray up to it. So I don't have that. Let me see if I got any tracing paper. Yep. But this is not my good tracing paper over at, I can't see through that too good. I'm going to try to get this to be the best I can. There's tracing paper over at Hobby Lobby that is incredible. It's so see-through, it's like almost like a celluloid. So I'll try this. If it's a little different, I'll know by bringing it up to the edge. So I have the cutting mat up above, and I am just kind of cutting out this shape. And hopefully I can use it for a little bit of an edge. That's better. Did I make it close? Sure did. Okay, here we go, guys. Got the black in there. Yep. Aim down. Get that edge established at least. And then just see where you're at. There. Yeah, that's good because it's back and forth with the snow. The snow is going to be not dark. It's not going to be black like that, but it's going to be more in the blue family. So I see a little pencil line because right here I kind of didn't have the exact cut. So I'm going to put this on here and move it just up a little higher, right about there, killing the pencil line. Pencil line's gone there. There's a little pencil line there. Just come over here. I keep hitting the arm, sorry. And get this locked in right, I don't know where it started. I think it was right around there. Just want to kill the pencil line. There we go. We got a sharp edge now, and that's what's in the picture. We've got a scratch my fingernail. Whoops, scratching it right there. Air dry that. It brought a speckle of black up into the sky, but a real little guy. But anyway, so just establishing some trees in the darkness there. Just bringing some of the darkness up to it. What does it do here? It splits kind of. So we'll just bring it down, up and over, and use a paintbrush for that. There's a touch up on the snow. This got overspray on it, so we'll just go back in there. So that contrast helps a lot with this. Paintbrush area. That nighttime kind of feel. So let's do some stars, and as far as the tweaking and any little thing I do, later. It's like, who wants to touch this up right now? It's, you know what it is. It's just like anything else. There's a little damage. This scratch is easy, especially when it's first, but that's an easy fix. It's opaque paint. It will level out and be the same color. It won't be like, oh, that, you got to keep going darker and darker to cover that. You don't. Because if you have an opaque mixture, it's just going to cover it and go right to where it's supposed to be. A little bit of black up here, a little bit. There is some black in the sky. It's very, I just don't want to bring it over like I did the last time. So I'll just go to the edge over here, up in this corner. Not even spraying it out as far this time, just a little bit there, but mainly just kind of where I see it there. And a little darker off this cloud. That's it, instead of the dark, dark black. And then the gray tone in here, just a little whispers of, is this gray? And it goes gray by just spraying the black lightly. And it's there. And then the mist over it. Let it catch up to its dark corner up here. And mist it into the blue a little bit. And come around the edge here a little. And that should do it. As far as that, let's do a little bit of stars. Okay. Got to get my toothbrush. This will take about a few minutes, and it's almost 9, so that's perfect, 2 hours. So let me get, I'm going to plug back my phone just in case it is dying, because I can't see the percentage. Oh, it's 67. The new phone doesn't die with the videos. The new phone's staying at 67%. It'd be down to, it would be running hot. It would be everything. So thank goodness for that much. Okay, so where am I? Needing the old toothbrush, which is stored somewhere. Oh, there it is. And I like, it's a firm, you know, it's not soft bristles. And I'm going to just do this very, very, very carefully. I need my palette, which, here it is. And I'm going to focus on the blue stars. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to simply take, I might even have the color. Let's see. Opaque stars, right? Yeah. So I've got this color instead of taking white out. And so I'll put a little white in it to make it not be just all water. And we'll see how it looks. Just using a little. Except I need a little. First poured it in. I didn't do any stirring of it, and therefore it came out water, real watery. So just put a little bit, and I'll put some white in it because it's definitely watery. Now, is it the color I want? I'm going to put probably some cerulean in it too. Come on out, white. My white, I bought the big white, 8 ounce. And so that's my mixture right now, but I'm going to get some cerulean and put that right into it, a drop. But my white that came from Coast Airbrush was really thick, like too thick. Like I almost was going to send it back. But then I put the 40 in the bottle, the small bottle I poured it into. I put some 40/21 in it, and it's working. So I can make it work with just helping it along. Something, it's too thick. You know, it was way too thick. Okay, so now I've got my little palette, and I got my brush. So I'm just going to go like that, load up the brush, and then I'm going to take a practice piece right here, and I'm going to get some of the heavy paint off here. There's a lot of paint on there. And then just test a small area. It's really loaded. Try that. Just paint the black back over and it don't work. I don't want to go through all that back and forth stuff though. Oops, there you go, hitting the phone again. My phone is right in front of me. So let's try right in here, staying off that violet. There's not a lot of stars. They're here, but they're more like, if you see the painting up close, you're going to see them. The blue ones are mainly taken over the sky. Pull it back further, get different sizes. I've got my touch up over here I got to do, but over here, pull it back further. And right here, I'm just going to put a little more in the real photo, and then down here a little bit. Okay. And then there's a couple that are just placed exactly in the spot. So that would be, probably the tip of a paintbrush or something. And they are white. So they're just pure white. I know you guys were talking a lot amongst yourselves, so hopefully I'll check the comments here. What, Bobby? Now at 52, got to start and relearn and retrain myself over again. Oh my gosh, in the hospital with almost 2 months in a coma, and grace by the grace of God, that is for sure. I'm watching. Oh, thank you, an amazing artist. Yeah, praise God. I am a Christian, and yes, and yeah, there's nothing. When I think of me getting hurt or something, I think of the cross. It's like, whoa. But that's what my sins were paid for with that cross. So he loves me. He loves you guys. That's why my Facebook page is like it's a little ministry of sharing the tracks, not the tracks, the scriptures. Come on, Billy, get a round dot there. One more here that kind of just, I gotta be careful of my fingernails. A little star there. There's some guys in here that are in here, but yeah. So I'm the kind of a person that's it's like a soul man. I'm interested in the long run, so I'm not ashamed to share my faith. And some people say, well, don't push it on me. Nobody has to read what I put up. They can just scroll by. But that's me. I believe what I believe, and I want to make sure that others are they're safe and understand the truth. And if it's not truth to them, I can't. You can't force anybody. That's my sermon for the day. But prayer is very powerful. I've had people say, no, you don't have to pray for me. Save it for somebody else. It's like, well, that's not going to stop me from praying for my dear friends that I feel. I'm not going to stop praying because they don't either believe it or care to think that it can even do anything, or they don't need it. So secretly behind the scenes, guys, I'm praying for all of you. I literally have notes, and I have a little war room where I have my bulletin board and I have my names, whether somebody's sick or somebody, I pray for salvation. I pray for prosperity, health, and just that kind of stuff, That's me. And I try to share the whole counsel. I don't try to sway away from the hot topic things as much. I do a little bit because I got to be careful. It's got to be done out of love, but it's still, like the whole Bible to me is the whole Bible, and nothing can be changed there. But I still don't want to be like in the attack mode or something. Who am I to attack somebody? But love and let the truth be known. If you read my posts, you read the scriptures, you're going to see what I believe, you know? And okay, so there's my stars. There's my painting for the most part. Yeah, Prayer Warriors. I watched the movie War Room and it really helped me. I watched it about 3 times. War Room is a great movie that really made me understand prayer better. And okay, so the end of my video is a little sermon, and I'm not ashamed. That's all right. But yeah, Bobby, wow, 8-hour surgery turned into 1.5. Whoa, that is amazing. Yeah, I've had minor surgeries and stuff, you know, eye surgery, stitches, um, 2 hernias, and a partridge in a pear tree. But okay, guys, as far as this painting, it is pretty far along. I mean, I might tweak a couple areas, but I'm happy with it to show you as it is. Um, you can, I've got to go in here with the white. I've got to touch that little area up. If I see a star that's whacked out or something, I'll just spray over it and kill it. Because when you look at it later with fresh eyes, that's when you're going to, thank you, JC. That's when you're going to see what you could have done. There's still trees in here. And I'm dealing with a little tremory hand. It really was violently shaking over the. I say violently because I couldn't write my name. I don't know. You know, something in my system just has gone whacked out, and I just needed to. I don't even know where it's going on right now. I don't know what exactly is going on, but the shaking that I've always experienced has gotten to be worse. And to the point where if I'm a little stressed out during the day and I try to sign my name, oh my gosh, you'd think I was some dog just barked at me or something, and it's just horrible. It's adrenaline and stuff, but there's something. It could be diabetes. It could be something changing. You know, I'm 30 years away from being 100, so leave me alone. I'm only kidding. All right. Yeah. So I'll mix the snow color up. I'll spray it in there, and this baby I'll post on. I'll sign it, and I'll talk about probably putting a little satin finish on it, and yeah, that kind of stuff. So thanks for hanging out with me, and I appreciate your comments, your nice, kind words. This is the other one that, like I said, I've got the colors out right now, and I could work on this a little more. Yeah. There's a nice star over here that has a lot of blue around it that is not in this picture. And this one's not finished, so it's back and forth. I like the snow on this one better. I could light that up a little more. But that's going in later and doing things, right where the highlights are. So thanks again, guys, for hanging out with me. We're at 2 hours, and I will see you next week. Most likely, I might try to do a Facebook Live to see how it behaves with my new phone. Sorry, I didn't mean to hope it wasn't a buzzkill. No, no, no. You don't worry about that, man. You're telling about your surgery. You're thanking God for it. That's fine. God bless you. Okay, so next week's project, I don't know what I don't know what I'm gonna do. On Facebook, I will try to upload probably the Mustang. But if I decide to do a live feed to finish up the yellow Mustang, then I'll let you all know. But I don't know what I'm doing next week. And plus, when you pull these away from that white background with all the overspray, it looks better, you know? It looks nice and clean. There's some of the details. I gotta tweak it, you know, that kind of stuff. But good night, everybody. God bless, and I'll see you next week. Take care. Enjoy airbrushing. Have fun with it. Good night.